We are getting started here any second, folks.
Her teeth are in good shape.
Okay. Oh, second. Because
If you don't have camera or microphone, once we get into the question segment of the call, you can type your questions in the chat.
Yeah, if you're thinking of a question, you can type it in at any time. We're going to go chronologically through them until we're done.
Until we're
Hey,
done?
Brenda?
Hola, Brenda.
Did you hear us?
Computer.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No.
We have got people from all over the place here. We got people locally. We got people coming on the tours. We got people just moving here that have contacted us for help.
Yes.
We welcome you all. We got former people from the tours. Like our good friend Bill from Alaska. Is it still snowing up there, Bill?
Yeah, it's snowing. It's snowing.
Yeah, he's always got a sandals on.
weather.
There we go.
Yeah, we got lots of snow.
Yes.
Flip-flop
It's
weather in
so cold
Alaska.
out there, I'm wearing my shorts and sandals.
This guy, it's a new guy. He's
We're gonna take you to some hikes here.
Probably ready to go to
We
Panama.
should start. It's 7:03. We always start on time, don't we? Yes. So why don't we mute all and do introductions?
We got the black guy back on. Yeah, expensive.
First.
Okay, everybody. So welcome to our call. I am Megan. I am Director of Operations. I'm from Pennsylvania. I originally came to Panama as a Peace Corps volunteer, fresh out of Penn State University. And these guys convinced me to stay. So after 2 years in the Peace Corps in Panama, I'm working with these guys, and I love going on the tours and sharing all the knowledge I've accumulated from being really living in the culture in Panama through Peace Corps. And yeah, I hope to see some of you guys on tour this year. Oscar.
Well, I am Oscar. Thank you, first of all of you, for your precious time. Very happy to see every one of you. And I'm originally from Colombia. I got here in Panama in August 2009. Before Panama, I was in Costa Rica, living for about 3 years and a half, from 2006 and 2009, where I got a lot of my experience learning my second language and also working in high-end tourism hotels. And since 2011, 2010, I started working, getting involved a lot with the expat community and also providing professional services as an interpreter and also relocation services. And until these days, that I partnered up with my good friend and mentor, Rod, and now working with Megan. And what else can I tell you? Sure, it's so much to tell you, but I hope to tell you more in person to some of you come here and visit us. So I'm just Jack for all the trades for all of you. I'm Mama Goose. I'm your driver. I'm your guide. I'm your advice. I'm everything. You tell me jump, I can ask you how high. Simple.
You have 5 more minutes.
5 more minutes?
Yeah,
You
no,
did it quick
he
that
doesn't.
time.
Okay.
Good.
My name is Rod. I am from British Columbia, Canada. Moved down here almost 9 years. I think 9 years in a couple months.
I know.
Yeah, 9 years ago. I came down here. I wasn't retired. I ran an online business. So I decided to go somewhere in the sun where I had to pay less taxes. And that was Panama. So that was all good. I met Oscar and we started doing stuff together, hanging out. We became good friends. We started in tourism. And just over 2 years ago, we started the group tours that we do now and the stuff like we're doing tonight. So we're very, very excited. And I know I'm the guy, the info at Retire in Panama, that answers a lot of your emails and answers a lot of your phone calls. And number one question I'm getting right now is what the heck's going on down there? Like, we know what's going on around the world. So I'm going to give a brief summary of what's going on down here. And then we're going to get into our Q&A and ask all your questions. I see the questions are coming in the chat, which is perfect. Keep asking and we'll get to them all. So the brief summary, where are we? Are we open for business? Not yet. When are we going to be open for business? Don't quite know. Okay, I'm done. No, just kidding. We in Panama have seen similar things that have been happening in the US as far as spikes, but for a little different reason here. Our president addressed the nation yesterday in a speech that all of you are going to receive by email tomorrow. I have it translated, so you don't have to read it in Spanish. And addresses where we were, what we came from, and where we're going with this virus. And we really didn't have a handle on it in the beginning. We just didn't have the capacity for testing. And it all revolves around, we don't have a printing press called the Fed in our backyard here. So we just can't conjure up money out of nothing to fund this stuff. And it's very expensive for a Central American country to do it. But they've now figured it out. They have ramped from 1,000 to 4,000 a day testing in less than a month. And they have went from symptom testing to testing, isolating, and contact tracing with rapid tests. So yes, of course, our numbers spiked, and we have to get a handle of where those numbers are. Our numbers spiked almost 4 times, but our ICU only went up so far by 50%. So they seem to be quite happy about that, because that's the major number, what your hospitals can handle. So right now, the dates are, the airport is officially opening on July 23rd. Of course, there's been 2 previous official openings, but this is, airlines you'll see are starting to take bookings. Copa is pretty positive about its August 7th opening, Copa Airlines. We are still hoping, we have a sold out tour in August. And as soon as we know that everything is okay and it's safe for everyone to come, and we can put the things in practice that we need to have a safe, successful tour, we will be starting again. In the meantime, we're here to answer your questions. And there's many of you on this call, I understand, aren't coming on our tour. You've already decided to move here. You're just waiting to get here. Well, we're the place that can tell you when that's going to happen, when it's safe to do. Now, I'm going to address a couple issues here. The biggest thing, for those of you thinking of moving to Panama, or for those of you that have just arrived here, I know I see people on the call that arrived here in February. Oh my God, where am I? Like, you're in a foreign country in this global situation we're in. So I want to just address a couple things that, first of all, I want to read the first paragraph of the president's speech and briefly go through his plan and where we feel the numbers are going to be in Panama's economy, because it's very important to know what you're getting into. Now, I'm just going to read the first paragraph. I always feel good after the president talks here. I don't always feel that way in my home country of Canada after hearing my prime minister, but in here I always seem to feel good. Here's his first paragraph. I want to confess to you that when I started writing this report, many thoughts went through my mind and many emotions went through my heart. I am the president. I am one more human being who faces together with Panamanians the deepest health, social, and economic crisis our country has ever seen. From the hand of God, we will resist and overcome this pandemic. We have not given up. We have not given up. There's a sense of duty for those of us who love Panama. That's just the way that he comes across. I'm going to move my mouse. Now, he introduced here, this is a big thing. This is the first country I've heard of. If any of you have heard any, let me know. The president, his cabinet, and the entire Congress, we call it an assembly, as of yesterday, took a 50% pay cut for the next 6 months. And all their per diems and expenses were cut. All assistants and provincial and civic, like mayors, governors, take a 25% pay cut, and all their people, because the president feels that if the people are suffering, their elected body should have to tighten up also. And the exact number is in the email I'm going to send you, is in the speech of how much money they're going to save for that, and that all goes in to helping the poorest of Panama, or the people that lost their jobs here. So that was one thing I was happy to see. Then he did a 12-point program extending the moratorium. There's a moratorium right now on mortgages, loans, credit cards. You can't be foreclosed on. You can't be evicted. You can't be cut off or be chased, and that's till December. So that's been extended. People who have lost their jobs don't even have to pay their mortgage, their rent, their credit cards, or their loans. And at the end of the term, the institution must work with them to put those payments at the end of the loan, so they don't have a bulk payment. So they've done that to help the people. They're providing all types of loan money for farmers and for small business people and stuff like that. All the numbers are in here. When you're reading the numbers, don't you know, like $150 million doesn't sound like much to the States, but with our population, that's like 1.5 trillion in the States, because we have 4 million here. You guys almost have 400 million. So there's 12 things that they're doing. They're expanding the metro line a year early in Panama City. They got infrastructure projects. So in all these things, it was just 2 weeks ago, and you can check it out on their site. The World Bank issued where they thought all countries were going to be this year and next year. Now, Panama's projected to have a negative 2% GDP this year. It's going to be our first negative in many years, and the first GDP under 3.5% in 10 years. But in 2021, they're expecting a 4.4% GDP. Now, that is 4 times higher than what's expected in North America. And they list all the reasons for it. We're really diversified in our economy. We have very low debt compared to most countries. And so I see a big, bright future in Panama. I'm not worried about it. I'm not heading back to Canada anytime soon. I don't think Oscar's heading back to Colombia anytime soon.
Nope.
We are here for the long haul. We're going to get through this thing in the next few months. We're going to start helping people move here and hopefully meet each and every one of you. And I've talked too long, but again, anything we talk about today, when I say I'll send you more information on it, you'll get an email tomorrow, everyone who's registered on this call, with a recording of the call and with all this information. So you have it for your record.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yes,
We certainly can, Mark.
Oh, okay, great. My internet's kind of iffy. I've been kicked out of here twice already, so I'm not trying to turn video on at this time because I'm afraid that'll kill it. But anyway, I just wanted to say that I'm glad to hear that they're saying that the politicians are taking a cut, because that's one of the things that upsets me here in America.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're telling us all that how we have to take cuts and take cuts and take cuts, and they're all just sitting there fat, dumb, and happy. But yeah, I'm calling from Alaska, by the way.
Yeah. All right.
Welcome.
Awesome.
Another
awesome
Alaska.
one.
Yeah, they're not only taking cuts, they've eliminated all the per diems, because it's kind of silly to pay people per diems when they're working from home. And so,
Yeah.
you know, so they're
Yeah.
seeing waste and trying, you know. Okay, should we get into questions?
Yeah, so if you have any questions, feel free to unmute yourself and ask away. If not, we will get into some of the ones that have been sent into the chat.
We are at
The
80
first one.
people on this call so far.
The first one, somebody was asking about where to get silver in Cherokee. Never had that question.
Oh, I have a
before.
question.
I have a question.
Oh, you do?
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll let take Francis and Tito's question first.
Oh, one of many, but I'll just ask this one. So I see you guys are all together. So you guys are no longer sheltering in place.
Nope. It's different across the
country.
country.
The country.
Yep.
I understand that, was it Panama always state where Chame is and Coronado, that they are still under quarantine.
They are.
That area
But still-
Panama Oeste and Panama provinces, which is the Chame and Panama City provinces, they are both still on a tighter lockdown. The one that we were on before, but now we are able to move around freely with just a nightly curfew.
Okay.
Okay. Is there any, I guess there's no talk or anything yet, is when that will be lifted? Is it based on their numbers?
It
Or
is.
okay. So as their numbers go down, then it'll
Mhm.
affect. Okay.
What is it?
Okay.
Where'd you get silver?
Oh,
I have
sorry.
a question.
One second,
are
we're
you-
just going to let Rod answer. Somebody asked where to get silver.
Okay, the
Oh.
question,
and
who's
then we'll send
asking?
it to you.
What? So,
Yes.
It's filtered.
Down.
Oh.
But
We're gonna start.
there are a lot of
do one
questions
at a
so
time.
far.
I've got some I'll sell.
There we go.
it is from Wemmert.
Wemmert. Wemmert, what I need you to do is, there is a guy in Panama City. I got to find out his connections in that bead. It's Oscar, our good friend with the paper. Yeah, he had him on his show. We've actually met him. So
What?
send an email to info@Retire in Panama Tours, and we'll find. He sells both silver and gold rounds.
Well, we'll get that information.
Yeah.
That is more important.
I just don't have his contact on me, and I don't have the local Cherokee information. And for that information, I would really rather do it just by email rather than publicly telling you someone's name that has a house full of silver and gold. Yeah.
Okay,
Alright,
somebody
so-
was trying to ask a question?
Yeah, iPhone.
iPhone.
Yeah, hi, this is Sue from Vermont in the States. I was just wondering if in his speech the president addressed anything about tourism or international travel or anything, and what your take was on that if he did.
Well, I was one who did the translation of speech, so I'll go through it. The actual word is tourism, no, but international travel, we have different blocks that we're opening. We're in block 2, where our area is very close to going into block 3, and they're supposed to open every 2 weeks once we have decent numbers. Block 5 is the international travel. Now, block 4 could be the international travel. That could be as early as the end of July if you are in the process of having residency. And the lawyer can give you, it's business travel. But then again, we don't know. We can't predict what's going to happen. We saw what the European Union did to the United States.
Yeah,
This is North America, though. To open our airports, we need the flights from the Americas. We don't have a lot of European Asian flights. We actually have no Asian flights because it's too far. So I don't really see that restriction happening here, but I could be proved wrong. So we are looking at, end of July to the middle of August would be my best guess.
Yeah.
If things don't go haywire on us.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Always remember, guys, if you're not on our email list, can you type in the website?
Sure.
Retire in Panama Tours, like www, so they can click on it. Go to the website and just enter your first name and email address. We're going to put the website in the chat to everyone, and we will notify you of each of these steps when anything opens up. I know a lot of you came through Facebook or just were invited here from someone else. You don't even know who we are.
Yeah.
I hope you like. Hi, this is Darlene.
Hi, Darlene.
I'll be right back.
Do you have a question for us?
Yeah, I had a question. So if you're thinking about moving there, what are we supposed to do so far as like transporting our vehicles? Because I noticed that what we looked at, the furniture was included. So it's like, oh, you just walk in the door and bring your clothes. But how do we do that? How do we go about getting all that done?
Transporting larger items or specifically a car?
Specifically a vehicle.
Okay, Oscar?
Well, specifically a vehicle, it depends. My suggestion, strongly, I will suggest depends on the brand, the model. Sometimes it's not the best idea because it can be more expensive and you will now find a service here for your vehicle. There is some programs or some benefits. If you, let's say you get a pensionado visa here, you will now pay, once you get a pensionado visa, you can avoid to pay the taxes on importation. However, it's more the paperwork. You need to hire a lawyer. You need to put a lot of work to prove that you're a pensionado. They don't want to make it that easy, straight honest. So sometimes it's better to ship it and just declare the price of the car. We do have some brokers that have done it successfully. I actually export a U.S. vehicle. It was imported in Panama back to U.S. and I just assist another person to bring a Jeep, which that Jeep was worth it because it was completely modified. So it depends like what kind of vehicle. Sometimes it's better just to not deal with the hassle, sell it there and buy a new vehicle here in Panama. We have a large, high quality like 4x4 Toyotas. We have BMW here, and it depends where you're looking to live. I will say to you, bring in. Or may I ask you what kind of vehicle is?
I have a simple vehicle. I have a Nissan Rogue, but my husband does not. So he has a Jaguar. So I'm just trying to. I can sell. I wouldn't feel any pain, but I don't know that I can
pay a lot.
that.
Yeah.
Right. We usually advise if you love it, if you really love it and you want it, then it's worth going through the hassle. If it's something you can easily sell and use that money to get something here, it is a lot easier.
It's a lot easier. Yeah. And I will say this, I can understand with somebody to get attached to a vehicle because I have a vehicle that I will not give up on that vehicle no matter what. So I get it.
Yeah. And my name is Chris, but I got a question about if I'm a transplant patient, a liver transplant. What about medication and healthcare? I need to find out about that part of it.
Yeah, you're going to have a challenge with getting health insurance here. I can tell you that right up front. Virtually not possible. Healthcare is great, and it's a lot more affordable than the U.S. But international health companies, and this is not Panama. This is any international country you move to. International, because there are no Panama companies. Well, there are some, but the big ones are over in Europe that provide insurance here. They do not cover pre-existing conditions.
Yeah.
So you'll be very limited. Now, if you want more detail, I can connect you through email to a broker that might have some other ideas for you, because there are some copay options where after 1 or 2 years, depending on your pre-existing condition, you might get coverage at private hospitals. You pay 30%, they pay 70%, stuff like that. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
While we're on that, we had a question from Debbie as to what is the best health insurance here. She's currently in Boquete.
Debbie. All depends. I could list 6 different types, depending on what you need. You need to sit down with a broker. Now, if you've heard online somewhere that if you buy insurance from a broker, you'll pay 30 to 50% more, that's a myth, 100% untrue. And you can prove it to yourself. You can go to a broker, get a quote, go online to the company, get a quote, they're going to be the same. What you need is a broker to identify your needs. It's so important. We use a broker right here in Boquete. Her name is Magda Crespo. She's in San Francisco Plaza. Reach out to her and get an appointment and sit. It might be a virtual appointment still, but yeah, sit down, tell her your age, your pre-existing conditions, what you want to accomplish.
What's the name of the beach?
There are many options for you before you make that decision and buy it. Or buy too much. You can buy too much.
What was it?
I know some people that have bought international insurance and don't leave the country for except for every 2 to 3 years. You don't need that type of insurance because you can buy a 2-week package when you do go. So yeah, just make sure you sit down with a broker and get all your options.
Next question.
Anybody else have a question?
I got a question on that same front. Is high blood pressure considered a pre-existing condition?
No, not if it's controlled. Because if you go to the doctor and he tests your blood pressure and it's normal, it's not. A pre-existing condition, it's also not, like there's many things. It's type 2 diabetes. It's like an organ transplant. It's a heart valve surgery. It's those types of things, those major.
Yeah, like my bionic leg then.
Yeah.
So I have a question.
Sure.
Okay, Louis?
It's, are you going to touch on the fun things like the Tuesday expat gatherings? Are you still doing it at the Bouquet Community Playhouse Tuesday mornings?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
He's asking about the Tuesday market and the BCP. Yes, the Tuesday market is still going to be back.
Yep.
It's actually being expanded into 2 locations right across the street from each other.
I meant when it comes back, when the court, when the
Yeah, they've actually talked to Mensa and they're looking at August.
Yeah.
So because they're going to be in 2 locations, they can really social distance, and they're going to do all the health protocols required here in Panama with the masks and the temperatures and stuff like that.
And also have enough space for people.
And the BCP signed a long-term lease in the tap-out building for their theater that will carry on their production schedule as soon as theaters can open, which will obviously be a little.
I know Oscar does these, what do you call them, blogs, so to speak, you know, on things, different subjects.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know that you've covered this before, but that's sort of the fun things around town to do that people may not be aware of that you might want to talk about.
Yeah, we have a big Oscar on the streets done on the Tuesday markets, and a couple and with the BCP, I believe. Mm-hmm. They're on their YouTube channel.
Yep, you can look it up. But it's gonna be some changes, which is changes a lot of times for good. There's gonna be more space. There's gonna be a lot more vendors. It's gonna be even better. I think all the situation and it's gonna be improved some services in Bukit for sure.
Yeah. Hey, Debbie, if you want a personal connection with Magda, reach out. Just info@retiringpanamatours.com. And I know she's kind of swamped now because her staff aren't working and she's trying to handle everything. But she's the best in Bouquet for health insurance.
Yep, she's the best.
This is Darlene again. I had a quick question. Would you suggest somebody who's moving to Panama, never been to Panama, rent first or just dive right in?
Rent first.
Definitely rent.
Always. 6 months.
Okay.
Unless you've been here before. Like some people have traveled here, they spent a month here, a month there.
Okay.
You know.
Unless there is another situation can be happening, because maybe if you're looking for investment, and sometimes there is a market, really good market, if you really feel like, let's say a property is worth 400,000, and then happens to be the person wanted to sell for a substantial reduction, and then if you feel it's right, if it's all legal, that can be the scenario. But we always suggest to rent because you need to feel the country or the area you want to potentially live in Panama. You don't want to get stuck with a home and then, I don't like it.
Panama, a lot of people haven't been here. I think it's tropical. Well, it's got temperatures from southern Florida to like climates from southern Florida to California to Seattle to Colorado.
Yeah.
We're sitting here 4,000 feet up in the mountains. And I had to start my fireplace the other night. It was cold.
It happens.
Yeah. And
that sounds fantastic.
I come here and buy, and I don't like this climate. I've seen that.
And this is not even the coldest. The coldest is in a small village. It's called Guadalupe, in Chiriquí province, and higher than Boquete, near to Volcano or Cerro Punta. And this time of the night, you need some jacket. You'll get chilly.
Now, what you guys need to know is, like, some of you want to know market evaluation, where the prices are, what rentals go for, what you can get for $1. Yeah, you should be doing that research now. And we have that gal on the call with you.
Yep.
Her name's Joanne Hatch. And Joanne, you're going to turn on your camera and say hi. And her name's Joanne Hatch. And if you need information about places for sale here, the multiple listings, Panama does have a multiple listing, guys. Don't let anyone tell you it does. And Joanne, the multiple listings had their gala awards. I think they're next to the Academy Awards here in Panama. That important. And Joanne, that rock star, won last year for most closures. Am I correct?
Yeah, and the year before, yes.
And
And the year before.
And the year before. Yes.
Won four. Like they're all across the country, and she won't push you into anything. She's got a team of girls that will help you with a rental for 3-4 months as you're trying to decide on where you want to live and stuff like that. She's a gal. You want to connect with her? Let me know.
Rod.
Yeah.
Rod, hi, I'm Janine Fugere. I was in Boquete in summer 2013, and I think we met. I don't know if we did or not. If you were at that time at the Centro where they have the Tuesday Boquete markets, there was someone who put on a lecture about how to shop and source locally for Panamanian ingredients. And I don't know why, but I think it might have been you who I had that lecture with. I don't know.
No,
but if not, I don't know, but I just wanted to say it's been long enough. I've been away from Panama too long. I'm down to only 3 bottles left of Gruber's Jungle Oil. And I have to come back. I have friends who have asked me what kind of, today's not a good day because I've been out in the sun all day, but I have friends who ask me what's my favorite moisturizer and what retinol A or whatever am I using. And I say, no, I'm using Gruber's Jungle Oil. And they say, well, where do you get that? And I said, Panama.
You're still in business, I'll tell you that.
I'm not going to take long because we're not ready to move yet. I'm going to switch it to just my regular still photo to show you my partner, Paul, and I. We're sorry, we came on the call late because we're late home from a 20-mile bike ride around some lakes here in Colorado. But Paul and I are planning to move to Panama within the next couple of years. I have 1 more year of teaching to go. We're hoping to target a beach town or a mountain town. I stayed in Boquete for about half of my 3-week stay, in David for a few days. I met both locals and expats, and then I stayed at Playa La Barqueta for a week and a half and fell madly in love. So anyways, that's us. We're gonna be tuning in a lot, but I wanted to speak, I'm gonna put my face back on. I wanted to speak explicitly to Megan. Last night I listened to the replay of the May call, and I just absolutely fell in love with you because you said, just might become neighbors or at the very least lifetime friends. And I said, we're gonna know them. And I made Paul come and watch the replay of that part. It was like 1 in the morning. And I just said, see these people, we're gonna know them. So I just wanted to say hi. I'm sorry Paul's not on the call. He's in the middle of hauling in all our bike gear and everything. I'm not gonna take other time because I know there are people who are coming sooner and whose questions are more imminent. We're a year or 2 out, but trust me, we're gonna be friends and neighbors.
Great. And feel free to reach out when you're on your way.
By the way,
we believe in something called Soul Tribe, and we believe you people are already part of our Soul Tribe. So
love it.
Well, you have to thank me because I'm the responsible to stay.
And by the way, you got real bonus points by the very romantic sentiment you expressed about how you hit the jackpot, or was it the lottery when you met Megan? And the look on both of your faces. Paul and I are older than you are, but we've only been dating for 5 years, so we have that young love thing going on. People think. Anyways, we're gonna be buddies. I'm just telling you.
Yeah, feel free to reach out with any questions you have.
Yeah. We want to come as soon as we can, but I still have to work a little more.
That's the attitude. Thank you so much.
We will know each other though, for sure.
We will. All right. Let's move on for other people have questions.
That was perfect.
So somebody said that Tina says that she's interested in Volcan. What can you tell me about Volcan? Real estate, school, life?
I mean, Volcan is a beautiful, it's a great town. Most focused into the farming side of Panama. Chiriquí province provides over the 75% of the fruits and vegetables production in the whole country. So the majority in Volcan is Cerro Punta. There is not much influence, foreign influence in Volcan. There is, but it's not as much like Boquete or David or Panama City or other areas in Panama. The school system in Volcan, I know there is private schools. I'm not sure, but I can find out.
There is a bilingual school.
There is a bilingual school, and there is one in David, but we can give you that information if there is a bilingual school. Lifestyle is a little more quiet than Boquete per se, or Coronado, or any beach area. It's a little colder than Boquete, and the housing is quite affordable. Rent and also purchase is more affordable as well. It's more spread out than Boquete. That's the difference with Volcan. The only difference is what else?
Just less options for
Yeah.
shopping.
It's like a in between. It's like a,
Restaurants.
yeah, it's like a evolving, but it's not there yet. But it's in a good way. It's a good path.
Yeah, if Boquete is maybe too busy for you, Volcan's definitely a little bit quieter.
Yeah.
And still just an hour and a half drive from Boquete or David.
That is like an hour and a half minimum. Yeah. What else?
Okay, hey guys, I got a question real quick.
Sure.
How's the climate in Las Tablas?
Very hot.
Hot.
Oh, okay.
Hot and humid. It's beautiful
Yeah.
town. It's nice town. It has a lot of culture. All the area of Panama has a lot of culture, but it's really hot.
I'll tell you, with this skin, I melt. I mean,
Well, yeah, I'm from Alaska, so I know I would.
Oh, yeah. I'm Latino, grew up in a warm city and melt there.
Yeah.
That's
Okay. All right. Well, that answers.
pretty close to the ocean. So
Yeah, oh, yeah.
that's-
It is
Well, that's
the
what-
highest area of Panama.
Yes.
The whole Azuelo Peninsula, it's called the Dry Arch. Less than 60 inches of rain, if you call that dry. I know you people in Arizona won't think that's dry, but it's dry.
Yeah, I'm looking to come and do some fishing, and I wanted to start off with the Pacific Coast and then work my way east from there.
yeah,
There you
there's
go.
some great fishing down there.
Nothing there.
Yeah.
Gonna fix
Doesn't-
it.
Yeah. And you just get used to the climates.
Oh, yeah.
I got one more question again, but it's more for Joanne. Joanne, is she still on? Joanne Hatch?
Yeah, she's still on.
I think she's listening in.
Oh, I guess it had to do with, like, we were looking at some of the properties and stuff, but on the property taxes, they talked about something about a horizontal property.
I
And
have
that's
seen
way-
that. I have never seen that, to be honest with you. Okay, like for instance, I came down here in 2007, and I ended up buying land on my second trip, and I built a house. Now, I paid $80,000 at that time for the land, and I had to pay. The only thing I had to pay property taxes on, was $50,000. The first $30,000 was tax exempt, and then I paid $900 a year. My house, I'm tax exempt for 20 years, and they just passed a new law in 2019, and I am now paying zero taxes. I pay no property taxes. Now I come from a town, Windsor, Ontario, which is right across the border from Detroit, and I mean I was paying like $4,000 a year in taxes, so. It's been a real bonus for me, and I mean, I had no problems building my house, and to me, if you have a home that's paid for, I mean, it's really inexpensive to live here, really inexpensive. Yeah.
Yeah, property tax, the general assessment of property tax, 0 to 1, correct me if I'm wrong, Joanne, 0 to 120, there's no property tax, 120 to 700, there's 0.5%.
Yeah, like it's dirt cheap, yes,
It's
yes.
0.7%. That is the only property tax. But if you're buying new or existing with exemptions, you might have several years, because a lot of people might buy a house that's only 5 years old. So you might have a 15-year property exemption.
Right.
So explain the exemptions, the property exemptions.
When you build a new house, you get so many years exemptions. We're right in the middle at a confusing time, because it used to be a 20-year. Now, depending on the valley, it's a 5, 10, or 20-year. So it just means you don't have to pay property taxes for that time. And the exemption carries forward to the new owner.
Right. Yeah, so it can be transferred.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you bought a $200,000 house and that was built in 2015, you would not pay property tax till 2035. And then at that time, you would pay 0.5% on the 80 grand, on the 200,000 minus the 120. Yeah.
And that's annual, right?
Yes. Yeah. So that's $400 on a $2,000 house is property tax.
So 200.
Yeah, and for my house, I'll give you an example. My home is roughly 2,400 square feet, and I pay between $53 to $60 a month in utilities for hydro or electricity. That's, to me, is cheap. And then of course our hot water you know, for the hot water tank, like for cooking with gas or the stove, for those big 100-pound tanks, I believe I'm paying around $72. And there's just my mother and I. So, and one tank will last us 3 months and it's $72. Then you pay for your internet, you know, your cable and internet. Most people don't take the cable. We just have internet and we stream, and then you can get the Fire Sticks that has, they're like $150. And with those, you have live TV from anywhere in the US or Canada. It's wonderful.
So what do you pay for water and garbage pickup a year?
Right, $100 a year, I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so-
I pay $100 a year for water and trash.
Yeah, and in my area, it's $60 a year. So
Wow.
$60 a month. So nice water and garbage pickup.
I cannot pay that much. I
So
cannot
that
afford
might
it.
have covered a bunch of the questions on the expenses in Panama. Thanks, Joanne.
You're welcome.
You're the best.
So let's see. Diane is asking if we fly into Panama City, do we have to wear masks on flights?
Yeah, check the
That,
airline.
that will be, I will say, that will be according to the politics airlines and
Yeah.
also to the airports.
Yeah, that's the airlines. Once you get here, you have to put a mask on.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
In
sure
the
until
Panama
the end of
City
August.
airport, absolutely.
Absolutely. The temperature, and if you, for some reason, anybody traveling internationally, they're gonna have like all these cameras. So I think you gotta make sure.
All stores, pretty much anywhere you're going out shopping or
Yeah.
in public, masks are mandatory here.
Yeah.
And when you enter a store, your temperature is taken.
Yeah. The only one whether the temperature is taken is like if you have fever, you're not getting into the store. It doesn't matter if you have COVID or not. It's just you have a temperature, so it represents a risk.
Okay.
Hi there. This is Carol. I have a question.
All right, Carol.
Dímelo, Carlos.
We have done a lot of research about moving to Panama, and we have decided that we may want to live in Pedasí, and that's how you say it, correctly? Correct? Pedasí.
Pedasí.
Tell me about it. Tell me about Pedasí, please.
We love Tennessee. It is a beautiful town with some beachfront living options or very affordable Panamanian style housing options. It's fairly small. I think about 2,000 people with an expat community of 200 people. And it's very well known for the beaches, fishing. You can go out to a local island. Yeah, the culture in that area is really big. Very friendly locals. And they're very integrated, the expats and the Panamanian locals there.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of great restaurants, a great bakery. It's a very lively little town. We love it.
And the seafood is so expensive. You get a pound of yellowfin tuna for $6.
Wow.
So expensive.
The best tuna.
Pound of yellowfin tuna for
I know, like so it's just so old. Catch like an hour before for $6.
No,
So
a different.
Do that.
Is learning Spanish there much more mandatory than, let's say, in Coronado or Panama City?
It'll help you feel like you can talk to more locals. I mean, but I wouldn't say it's necessary. We have some friends down there that they have enough to get by, but aren't fluent.
My number one suggestion before you come here, if you want to like integrate with the culture here, is get your practice basic things, commands like the greetings, your numbers. Make sure you don't have to be concerned about the dollar because it's the same coin, but just the numbers in Spanish. So you're understanding when you do any transaction, when you do local vendors, and your greetings, and just like a basic verbs. Panamanians melt when you make the effort, even if you don't know, when you make the effort to say buenos dias, buenas tardes, buenas noches. They just melt. Once you do that, y'all good. Don't figure it out.
Oscar?
Figure it out.
Oscar, I want to address that. I was there as a single woman by myself for 3 weeks, okay? And I
Yeah.
didn't plan to be there as a single woman by myself. I thought I had a place to stay. That didn't work out. So I almost went home, and I walked from Boquete to, Casa de la Abuela? And on my way there, I walked back up into town, and I thought, oh my God, like, should I be scared? I'm a woman by myself here in Panama, and I have no idea. And all of a sudden I thought, what is wrong with you? Look that man in the eye and say, buenas noches, señor. ¿Cómo estás? And I have never felt safer anywhere in my life.
Me too.
And I can honestly say that. And I went from Boquete to David, out to Playa La Barqueta, and through all kinds of stuff in between. I was up in Volcan. And I felt the same thing everywhere I went. Was even the smallest gesture of showing an interest in the culture and the language made me be received so warmly that I've never felt more honored and more welcomed somewhere. And I would also like to say, Panama is probably one of the easiest places that I've ever been that you could learn Spanish, because they speak más despacio than en Mexico. Okay, I sat in la biblioteca for las 3 horas. I sat in the library for 3 hours just talking to the woman because I was so happy I could understand her. So I just wanted to share. Don't be afraid to try.
Spanish. ¿Sí o qué, Piro?
¿Repite?
You're very fluent in Spanish, ¿cierto?
Sí, hablo español. Hablo español. Pero mi primo habla muy rápidamente.
All
right,
right.
everybody. Let's get some more questions so we don't run out of time.
You go. I'll be quiet.
Okay. Is there, Volcan expat community? There's a good amount of expats in Volcan. Not as many as Boquete.
Yeah, it's like I would say Boquete has like around, for the last time they did a census, it was 4,000. They were supposed to do a census this year, but it happens, the current situation in Boquete. Yeah, I know. Volcan, I would say, will be probably 50%, if it, probably maybe less.
Mm-hmm.
That's vertical, right? And
that's still a good amount of expats. Francis, is there a talk about banning Americans like the EU? We did go.
There's been no talk about it yet. That discussion hasn't happened here yet. So
I hope not.
And did we answer your question about property tax then? We did.
Yes.
Right. Okay, Michelle says, husband and I are 3 to 5 years out from retiring. What is the time frame on how far out should we be investigating moving to Boquete once we are ready? Should we be looking at booking a tour in the next year or a bit closer to the actual time?
You know, we've had people take our tours that aren't moving here for 5 years. If you're thinking of retiring overseas, or we're not really overseas, but if you're thinking of retiring down here, maybe you're thinking of some other countries also. But you need to get to them. And if you're still working, book your vacation time. Come see us. Come see Costa Rica. Come see, check out your stuff. It's never too early to check it out. And you can even start your residency. You don't have to live here if that's something you're considering doing. So yeah, it's never too early.
Okay. Yeah, because my big thing is I've been doing a lot of research. You know, I'm getting your newsletter. I've watched old videos. So, you know, I'm starting my research, and, you know, and I just didn't know if it was something, because, you know, things are always changing and evolving. So I didn't know if I should look at booking to come down and visit early or wait till closer. So.
Oh yeah, we got people, young people like you in your early 50s. We get them here all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the most important
years away from retirement.
Yes. The most important is when you make the decision is come here and feel it. Once you feel it, then your experience will tell you yeah or nay.
Okay.
Some people didn't feel it.
Yeah.
And they moved on.
Okay. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
You know, Oscar, you talked about Guadalupe in the area over by Volcan and up through Cerro Punta.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk a little bit about that. That's a beautiful drive. Gambito is a good place to stop and eat or spend the night. You know, a nice little place. So you might talk a little bit about that.
Okay, so from Volcan you can get driving like 30 minutes all the way to Cerro Punta, which is in a higher town. And then from Cerro Punta it's only like 10 minutes to Guadalupe, which is the highest village, the highest altitude in Panama. They have a community. There is some expats that live there. There's a lot of some bed and breakfast. because it's close to the Quetzal Trail. So for a lot of hikers or people that are into bird watching, and people that just want to relax. There is plenty of options for lodging. The Hotel Bambito is one of the most famous or the biggest hotels or luxuries in that area. And the Hotel Bambito is only 15 minutes away from Volcan. There is new restaurants that had opened in Volcan. One of my favorite restaurants called the Wanderer's Love. I love that place. And they're actually a sweet couple from the States, and they make excellent hamburgers and chicken wings.
Guadalupe has that bed and breakfast. I think it's what is it? Finca Dracula.
Oh, Finca Dracula is not that I know of. It's not bed and breakfast. It's only an orchid farm, and they allow you to come in now. Usually be every time in the year, but the owner change it to only in the season with the orchids. So they can only open from January to March, April.
I think I'm wrong. It's a bed and breakfast right at the end of the road in Guadalupe. They have a retriever lamb farm, puppy farm. That's
in Guadalupe, there is several coffee farms. So that I know right now, there is some new bed and breakfast opening. Unfortunately, through this situation, there is also some bed and breakfast closed. So some people will stay in business. Some people have not can handle the no receiving because they rely more on tourism from Panamanians. But mostly, all those people survive from foreign tourism.
San Jose is one of the coldest places. It's a beautiful place and has most amenities. Although if you want major shopping or major hospitals, you're about 2 hours away from David and also the airport.
Do any of you all know an American from Denver, from Colorado, named Paul Mitchell? Perform?
Okay. We're just going to move on to get to everybody else's questions. Lisa is a Chinese medical practitioner who wants to know if she's allowed to have a practice in Panama.
Unfortunately, Panama has protected professions. You could just Google Panama's protected professions and have a list. All medical professions are protected here for Panamanian jobs. So you wouldn't be able to open a public practice, no. That being said, I know people here in Boquete, we got a guy that uses the electric thing for your knees and stuff like that.
I know the guy left, he left someone in charge.
Yeah, well, there's still one guy doing it. We have a guy that you go over his house, he's got a chiropractor bed, even though chiropractic is a protected profession. So running a business with it, no. Doing it as a side service to help your friendly neighbor, I'm not going to say. But you got to be careful. If you want a little more direction on that one, we're going to have to get an attorney involved to see how far you could go with Chinese acupuncturists, because there could be, because if it's not already practiced in Panama, there could be an opening there. Please send me an email about it and we can dig a little deeper into it for you.
Do we want to touch on this one?
Oh, okay. I appreciate that. Because I did look online and it said medical practitioners, but it didn't specifically address acupuncture, and so I thought there might be a loophole there.
Yeah, I noticed. I'm just reading it too.
Not regulated. Pardon?
Yeah, I'm just reading my source as we're talking here. And they list every type of medical on there, even medical assistants and radiologists and physiotherapists, but they don't list acupuncturists. That's why I said, if you want me to dig deeper, I need you to send an email to info@retiringpanama. I'll phone our attorney and ask the right question.
Okay, thank you so much. I will email you privately because we won't come until a tour until spring. So, okay. Thank you.
We'll be able to get an answer for a couple of days anyways, but.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
That answer.
We'll get that answer for you. All right, what is
We have a question about the exemption from rent right now. No
Where has
name.
salon business in Alto Boquete. She's exempt from paying rent on her salon this time. Well, that will be her conversation with the landlord.
Yeah.
Technically, moratoria includes that. And I know some friends, some people, some landlords are not charging rent. So that will be a negotiation directly between your wife and the landlord. I know moratoria means rent and it is a business. Well, common sense for a landlord, the business has to be paid for business. There is no business. Well, again, I get so.
And as far as government assistance, as long as she is paying into Social Security, she should be.
She should be able to get the. If she's registered as a Social Security, if it's registered as independent business, she should be able to get the bonus and also being able to apply for loans or credits.
Yeah, she has to take her work contract in, and if she's self-employed, she has a work contract with herself that she lost her work, lost the source of income, and then she would apply. The business rent is not covered. It's residential rent that's covered, right? Yeah, yeah, that's what Oscar was saying. But that's something for her to work out with her landlord.
Yeah.
Say, hey, you want me to move out?
Yeah, common sense like how are we gonna charge rent if you're not making money? But that will be up to landlord.
Does pre-existing conditions include diabetes?
Yep.
Yep.
Does.
From Brenda, what is the best way to research rental properties?
Is there a website?
I got the best way. Contact, like where are you looking, Brenda? You gotta tell us that. Can you unmute and tell us the area?
I'm basically looking anywhere.
Across the entire country?
For now, sure.
Yeah, go to Inside Panama, InsidePanamaRealEstate.com, click on the rentals. That will give you an idea what's available across the country in prices. And if you decide on a specific area, please get a hold of us because we have some rentals agents that cost you nothing because the owner pays them, right? And you want, rather than just trying to rent for some stranger on Craigslist, that's a bad idea. I did it when I moved here. So yeah, let us try to connect you with a legitimate rentals agent who can help you out.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of Encuentra? I don't know how they pronounce that. The website Encuentra?
Well, Encuentra is the same as Craigslist. You got to be careful.
Oh, okay. Just checking. I've been looking at that.
Buyer beware.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, Oscar, let's see if you can take this one. Can you give an idea of some volunteer opportunities for expats who are not fluent in Spanish?
Yes, there is opportunities for volunteer work in Panama, generally speaking, especially in Boquete. There is some organizations that run or influenced by foreigners, neutering programs, handicap foundation, sometimes programs with we have a Rotary Club here. They were requiring more members or help for volunteers. So there is plenty of options. You can be as busy as you want doing volunteer work. There is also a recycling program you can volunteer for. There is a friend of mine has this program. What is to make it the cosiendo?
Knitting?
Knitting.
Quilting?
Quilting, yeah. So for the babies, for mothers, indigenous specifically, they don't have much of the means where they have the newborn. So there is a club to doing that as well, to giving those donations to the new moms in the hospitals, in the public hospitals. So there is opportunities for being volunteer and good stuff for the community. There is always options. And also the rescuing dogs too.
Yep.
What else? What is the next question?
Leb is asking about a real estate agent recommendation for the Coronado Nueva Gorgona area.
And that's our work people inside Panama.
Yeah. Inside Panama has a ton of listings there and plenty of rental options.
Yeah, Mike and Michael and his wife from California, they own the company, Mike and Martha. They have 4 offices in Panama, rentals everywhere. been doing it here 15 years. He's been doing it 30 years. Well, I think 45, like 80 or something. Well, no, he's not quite that old.
He'll punch you.
He's probably on. He always lurks in the background on the call. They are the guys, and it's very important you find a trustworthy real estate agent in Panama. So. Yes.
Anywhere.
What else?
Let's see.
Okay.
Here.
That one.
My husband, from Rosie. My husband is a medical retired soldier. Do they have any VA clinics for him over there? He needs expensive medications and his injuries for his diabetes.
Well, you know that one within Frank.
There are some VA, and this again, I have some literature on this. So info@retireinpanamatours.com. Send me an email. There are some VA pharmacies and some VA hospitals, but you have to go through, I don't know what's called, TRICARE. I'm not from the US, and neither is Oscar. So that's why I have literature from other people who have done this.
Hey, about all of it.
And look, is there?
DJ.
And yeah, so there are, and you can get some procedures done here. And like I said, there's a VA pharmacy in David in Panama City. And if we know someone, like a good friend of ours, needed a back surgery, and he asked if he could have it here, and yeah, they approved it, no problem, because it's obviously a lot cheaper. So please send me an email on that, and and anyone who wants an email on the VA availability here and how to apply for it, I do have that in a folder on my computer that I send out after every call for the people that need it.
Okay, we also have a question from somebody who has a pensionado visa. Denise, I believe that's what you're saying. You have the pensionado visa and was last in Panama in December 2018. Are there new requirements since that time? I also have a driver's license that expires in March 2021. A Panamanian driver's license? Yeah, right.
You need to get back here by December of this year, or you need to contact a lawyer here now, and they now have a 5-year extension available that you don't have to come back. But you have to pay for that. It's $500. And any Panamanian lawyer, like the lawyer who got you your pensionado, should be able to get that so you can be granted the extension.
Oh, great. Thank you very much for that information. I do have a lawyer down there, so.
Yeah,
and,
yeah, they just passed a law about 8 months ago that you can extend it for 5 years.
But you have to file a paper to be able to do that.
File paperwork with a lawyer. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. This is a great Q&A. I really miss Panama, and people are really, really friendly, safe as all get out. Lots safer than LA, let me tell you. Okay, I'm signing off, but thank you so much for this Q&A. It's great. Okay, bye-bye.
Pab says, what is the easiest way to get the e-cedula during this period of closed provinces?
One. You got it. The only tribunal is in Panama City.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're gonna have to wait. You don't need the e-cedula for anything. Typically, it's a status, well, I shouldn't say that. I recommend everyone get one because you can link it to your vehicle, your banking, so you never have to update your passport anymore if you're decided to live here permanently.
It gives you some privileges.
Yeah, it just gives you some privileges. Mm-hmm.
Like if you were citizen.
Yeah, you know, I can get a free food bag with my e-cedula.
Yeah.
There we go. I got a bag of rice and beans.
Oh, you got one?
No, I haven't.
Sheldon asks, is the movement restrictions between provinces causing residents to be stranded from their homes? No.
No.
No, you just have to prove where your home is. That's as simple as a utility bill on your phone or anything like that.
Or a contract of the rental or the paperwork, your house. I mean, there's many ways you can prove.
And once you're at your house, you shouldn't be leaving your province.
Yeah,
so.
So if you were to fly back, this might be the situation, one of the repatriating flights, how do you get back to Boquete? Simple, just make sure you have something that proves you live in Boquete before you land in Panama City and make the trip.
Hello?
Hello.
Hola, Sheldon.
I'm Sheldon. The reason I asked that question, right now, I came in on a repatriation flight from Miami on June the 20th.
Hey, Sheldon.
I tried to board a bus to David to get back to my residence. I hit my rental contract with me. I was in Panama back in March, and I was able to secure a rental at that time. And anyway, I tried to board a bus to David, and I was stopped. I was refused a ticket. And anyway, I found out later on that there's a government document called a salvo conducto. It's basically a travel pass, a permit to move between provinces. And I'm in the process of trying to get that pass so I can come to David. So
like, have you spoken to Lourdes or Juan, Sheldon?
Who?
The people doing your residency.
Yes, I've talked to my immigration lawyer.
Yeah.
He was not familiar with the process of getting a salvo conducto. Luckily, I met an individual that was knowledgeable about it, and he was able to get the paperwork filed. We went down to the Ministry of Health, and they basically told us there was 5 steps that you had to go through to get a salvo conducto, and this individual had been through the process before, so he was able to assist me to file the paperwork. Right now, I'm waiting on a response from the Ministry of Health about, whether they're going to grant me the ability to travel or not. So I'm still waiting.
I'm sure they will. It's a little waiting list right now. So yeah, so you'll get back here soon. There's only 1 bus a day, so you might have to wait to get on that one too.
Plan ahead, or just hire a private transportation to get back.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
No problem. Okay, so John says, what is the e-cedula?
Okay. The e-cedula is a national ID card. And just basically that, it's a national ID card. Panamanians have a cedula. Foreigners have an e-cedula. It means, what's the foreign word? What's the Spanish word?
Extranjero.
Yeah, okay. That means foreigner, I guess. Okay.
So extranjero,
you
foreigner.
don't have to have one. Your permanent residency card gives you permanent residency here. But if you don't have a permanent e-cedula, your bank needs your passport, your title on your vehicles needs your passport, your driver's license, and every time your passport number changes, you have to update it with all those places. So getting an e-cedula, your e-cedula is that number for the rest of your life. So,
as long as you're in Panama, that's your number.
He also mentions that it's very important to find a trustworthy, legitimate lawyer, which, yes, we agree.
Yes, we agree on that one.
Okay.
Sometimes trying to go with
Julio Brown?
choice.
Do you have any opinions about neighborhoods in Panama City, San Francisco, O Barrio, Punta Pacifica, Marbella, other than traffic?
So far, so nice.
Well,
traffic everywhere.
Traffic everywhere. All the neighborhoods that was mentioned, they were great neighborhoods. It's all about, you need, in the Panama City, Massachusetts, what is your bubble? What is the services you need? And if all the services you need are in Punta Pacifica, well, then that's or in O Barrio or San Francisco. I will suggest to just look at what is the type of lifestyle, if you have a business or if you need to get a mall.
Or if you want to walk at night.
Pardon me?
Sorry. Yeah.
You want to walk at night, it's not safe.
Okay.
Oh,
I see. Yeah.
If you want to walk at night, Punta Pacifica is safe in my opinion. San Francisco is safe in my opinion that I've been there.
Yeah. All the neighbors here.
Hawaii, yeah, all those, yeah. The only neighborhoods I would say like, yeah, you don't want to, even Chorrillo is, I mean, that's nobody want to go, but it's more like the stigma versus the reality. Like you
You're
don't
in
want
a large city, so you want to use common sense and be
Exactly.
careful.
Street
but,
smart.
But those areas are all pretty safe. I've
Yeah,
always felt
all those areas.
safe walking in those areas at night even.
We haven't talked anything yet about safety and crime. I'm gonna do one thing here, guys. This is very quick. I'm gonna share a screen. And screen 3, that's this one. Okay. Now all you guys should be able to see my screen. This website is called nationmaster.com. Feel free to check it out. So
Can you see it?
they
Nope.
have,
No, they can't.
oh, sorry.
There you go.
Now can everybody see it?
Now you can see it. Now, it's sharing this one. It always shares the wrong one, so I'm just going to drag this over here. Okay, there we go. Nationmasters.com. Now, this site compares crime and stuff like that. So this here is total crimes per 1,000 person. You'll notice Canada is number 10. That's pretty bad. 80 crimes per 1,000.
All I see is your window.
Can't see your screen. All I see is Microsoft.
Oh, it is on this one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we lost your window, Rod.
Can you see it?
There
now?
you go.
Okay. So, nationmaster.com. So this is total crimes for 1,000 people, countries compared. I noticed Canada is actually number 10, 80, but you know, if someone cuts across the lawn in Canada, they phone the cops. That's probably why. US is 23, so there's 41 crimes per 1,000 people. And Panama is 64, 6 crimes per 1,000 people. Now, if you look at assault rate, and these numbers are in 2011, countries compared. Canada is number 10 on the list. Norway is number 23. I'm just scrolling down. France, number 34. Panama is 54. Panama is safer than most of these countries, folks.
Well, maybe Colombia.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Even Colombia is not that bad.
People, I see some bad things about Latin America. I live downtown. That's why I kind of hijacked the call here. I actually lived downtown for 2 years, almost 3.
Panama City.
Yeah, in Panama City. And I walked those streets at 11, 12 o'clock at night.
No problem.
No problem. So the 4 areas you mentioned are nice. Area Bancaria and Barrio is also very safe because there's a bank on every corner and 2 security guards at every bank. So
with shotguns,
that's right.
and semi-automatic weapons. So to kill the temptation for
And
anybody.
I would always
coming
bring
in,
them a
please
bottle of
idea.
water or coffee in the morning, and I was friends with my security guard. So
yeah. Well, that area is pretty safe. I mean, in order for you to get in trouble, you really need to beg for it.
yeah. And Megan mentioned you're still in a big city. You need to be vigilant.
Yeah, street smart. As any other city, even in town, you always gotta be street smart. But Panama is so freaking safe. I
Yeah,
would say
in,
so.
in small towns like Petitsi, these people not only leave their cars unlocked, they leave the keys in it in case a neighbor needs to borrow it.
Literally.
Okay. And here in Boquete, there's no. We actually had a murder a few years ago, because the wife killed her husband. That happens all over the place. She was tired of it. Yeah. There's really not a lot of crime here. So.
All right, moving on. Darlene asks, what are the roads like in David?
The roads in David, well, everything is pretty paved. There is nothing, it's pretty developed. There was some construction in the past years. We're working in the aqueduct pipes and electrical. I will not say it's perfect. I will say it's manageable. It's decent. It's pretty decent.
There's a huge lack of signage.
And traffic lights.
Yes.
There are five traffic lights in a town of 180,000
Yes.
people.
So you need to very defensive and cautious, and sometimes when I mean logic, it's not logic. So
Using Waze really helps.
Waze is the best way to get around in a city where you're not familiar.
I always make Oscar drive and I close my eyes. It just goes right through and there's people coming.
Yeah, it's like if you have experience driving in New York or Boston or Chicago, then you're good.
And they have traffic lights there.
Anywhere. Yeah.
Okay. Veteran clinics, I think we touched on that, right?
Yeah, anyone wants to know about VA accessibility, send an email to info@retireinpanamatours.com.
If the AA in Boquete is doing meetings, don't know. But
I would not say they're doing meetings right
Online,
now
yes,
because online, hard to tell. But we can get you the info
yeah, if you
there
reach
is.
out to us personally, we can try
Yeah.
and find out.
We definitely can.
Let's see.
Are electric bikes available in Panama? Yes, they are.
And becoming more popular, aren't they?
And they're becoming more popular. We have a tour company. Actually, they rent them or they do the tours, but they're very feasible. You can import it as well.
Yeah, and if you come on our tour on a Monday night, you can take one for a ride on the beach if you want.
There we go. There we go.
I'll
I'll hook you up with some electrical bike experts in Boquete that if you can buy from him or rent.
There are still no domestic flights into David. Somebody's asking about that.
No, the airport is not open. 23rd, the airport opens. Copa does not open until August 7th. Now, Air Panama has not announced their opening yet. That's the other airline that does domestic.
It might be.
Well, they haven't announced, but, so I've been watching their site. They haven't announced.
Darlene says she's looking at property in Lucia. What is that area like?
Lucia or Santa Lucia?
In Boquete area?
Yes.
Santa Lucia.
Santa Lucia.
Santa Lucia.
Santa Lucia. I just abbreviated. It was too much to type.
So Santa Lucia is a mix. It's a gorgeous neighborhood. It is a mix of high-end Panamanian, medium detailed homes, and also like some high-end North American style. The neighborhood is safe. The neighborhood is very easy access in and out. The only problem is with the water. So it's still sometimes in some areas in Santa Lucia, it might be some water origins.
Well, they've had a long history of water problems. If you're looking at renting, make sure it has a water backup. If you're looking at buying, make sure you get a 5,000 gallon tank.
Yeah.
Maybe a week or two without water. It's getting better.
It's getting better, but it's always something going on. So our suggestion is, if you rent or buy in Santa Lucia, just make sure you got a nice backup of water system with a nice powerful pump.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, Sandra asks, what is the age and requirements for a retired visa, pensionado visa?
No age.
No age. It's as long as you have the proof of the Social Security. You can be 40, 35, as long as you can prove you're retired. Pension. You're good to go.
It can be a Social Security pension. It can be Army pension. I have someone going through it at 39 years old with a full Army pension. It can be a disability pension. It can be a public company pension like IBM or Teachers Fund or any of those.
Yeah, but not private. The private ones are not.
Well, the private ones, it can be. Like if you work for Coca-Cola, if you work for a well-known company, if you work for a smaller company that has a pension, it's going to have to be investigated. It's a little more difficult. Lawyers can still get it through. Don't let people tell you that annuities work now. They really don't. Like a life insurance annuity and stuff like that, they don't qualify you for the pensionado, although there can be some ways around it. It's getting more and more difficult. So basically pensions, but no age restrictions. And as soon as you get it, you get the pensionado discounts, even if you're 39 years old, like the person I know going through now.
That's the advantage.
Because you get a pensionado card.
She also asks, what is a good company for shipping furniture from the USA?
Benny, that's one right now. We have 3 or 4, okay? And you need a good one because this is the problem. Don't deal with those international mover guys because they don't understand Panama customs. So send me an email where you're from, the approximate cubic feet or meters that you're moving, and I'll connect you with the right people. Because the issue always is with the big international movers, when the first people on the yellow page or when you Google it, is they don't, you want someone specialized in Panama. Someone that knows how to deal with Panama customs, that knows how to fill out your manifest so Panama customs can pass, stamp. That's what you want. You don't want, we had someone move a bunch of stuff here and went through some random person they found on Facebook, and they had a product on there that the way it was listed, it required fumigation. Well, it
Leather.
didn't. Yeah, the product didn't. It was scrap leather. It's already been fumigated. But the way it was listed held up forever. And we had more horror stories where containers have been held up for 3 months and they get molded and stuff. So yeah, send us an email, info@retiredinpanamatours, where you're from, about how much you're moving. Just make a connection with you and find the right company.
I think we missed the question on electric vehicles, but John did answer for us and said, yeah, there's no ability to have an electric vehicle here.
There is some, the only, it's, what is it called? This Toyota Prius. It's like,
oh yeah. Yeah, like the Prius. Like
the
like
hybrid,
the
yes.
hybrids
You
are
can
here.
find here, but not 100% electric.
But then you plug them in at home. But no, because it's 450 kilometers to Panama City. They haven't invented an electric car that will go that far, have they?
Tesla, yes.
Well,
some of the newest
one, over 450.
Yeah, the newest Tesla, I think they goes to 550 or 600 kilometers.
Yeah. So not quite there yet. We have no recharging station. Electric scooters are becoming big. This company launching in Panama, and actually they did yesterday, selling some really cool electric scooters that do go about 150K.
That's
between
pretty
charges.
fast.
No, between charges.
Oh,
I
was like, okay.
150K.
Damn, for a scooter, 150K.
Oscar's
Woo.
buying one. Okay,
I'm
how are we
buying
doing
one.
that? We're getting near the end.
Yes,
guys.
we are.
We're gonna get cut off in about 7 minutes here.
Okay, question from Darlene. Is your internet underground or above ground?
Above ground.
Above. That's the only problem with our infrastructure here. It's mostly on poles. Some of the very new areas in the gated communities, it's buried.
Yeah.
So just before this call, we had a power outage, and so I'm prepared because I run a business in my office. So our business is basically what we're doing right here. So I have a full backup system that will run us for 2-3 hours. So if we're out of power, we're still going to have a call. But you can expect a power outage once a week. You can expect internet outage no more than once a month.
Yeah, mostly the power outages are in the rainy season, where it's the storms, where sometimes the companies don't check up all the trees that can grow, because here is so lush, the trees can grow just like that. And branches can get in between, and the wind can knock out a branch, and it's very easy, but it's not. Rainy season is more often than dry season.
And if you read the article I wrote about the couple from New Gorgona on Sunday, and they say the same thing I do. The internet here is better than back in the States. In 90% of Panama, we can get 1,000 megabits fiber from 2 different companies. So there's competition.
And affordable.
Yeah,
In the major towns, cities.
and affordable.
Yeah.
My internet, I usually always have a bill there to show. I don't have one today. I apologize. 160 gigs. 200 TV channels, half of them English, and a phone line for $50.
So expensive.
Yeah. Now, I've had companies and apartments in both Austin and Las Vegas in the last 10 years. The internet's just crap over there.
And cell phones too is pretty
So
good.
happy here.
I got unlimited data and phone calls, and I pay an outrageous amount of $33 a month.
Yeah.
Oof, that hurts.
And you can share that too.
Yeah, I can share that.
Quickly, do we suggest a Jeep in Panama?
Yeah.
I drive one. Jeep Cherokee,
Wrangler, Rubicon. Those are good for anything. I mean, I own a Land Rover Discovery. It's oldie. That's the one I'm committed to it to make it. Yeah, but yeah, Jeeps are great, and then you get service here for Jeeps.
Jeep
dealers and also parts. So also Chevy, Ford. There is.
We gotta watch. What's the Oh yeah, Toyota. We have the Toyota Helix. What does the U.S. have? They have a Toyota truck that we don't even sell.
The Tacoma and the Tundra.
You can't buy them here, so don't try to import it here. No one's gonna know what to do with it. You can't get parts.
No, actually, the Tacoma now here they have service in the Tundra.
Oh, they're
selling it here. Okay. They're selling it here. Yeah. But it's gonna be more prepared. You have to.
Well, you gotta find a mechanic that knows what he's doing with it.
You need to go straight to the dealership.
Yeah.
And let's work.
These two could talk cars all
night. Yeah, we got cars. The other
Okay.
problem with the people importing cars are kind of converters. We don't have those here.
I want a 300, a Chevy 300, 5.7 liter.
So they have real emission problems.
All right, on to the next. Yes, Brenda asks, can the water be consumed by expats for drinking, or does it need to be filtered?
It depends where you are. So if you are in the province of Herrera Los Santos, it's all well, it's beautiful, it's drinkable, no problem. Panama City is they have a good system. David, they have a good system. Boquete, we're transitioned to that. It is cleaner than other areas, but me personally, we don't drink water from the tap. We get because we don't have a filter system.
Yeah.
Filter system, if you can afford it, that's the way to go. Definitely no, ever no. No matter what happens, you don't drink by the tap in any island.
Mm-hmm.
Like let's say you are in Bocas del Toro, you decide to move to Bocas del Toro, no.
Yeah, okay.
That's you get for sure.
You can ask her. We are getting near the end of the call. We have an hour and a half now. At this 2-minute phase, we have to say thank you for being here, because there's a chance that if Zoom needs the space, the screens are just going to go blank. But if you guys want to, we got a few more questions to ask, so we'll try to go a little overtime here if we can. So it's been great having you all on the call. Looking forward to meeting a bunch of you that I see here that are coming with us in the future. Oh, I should do that last minute thing. Sorry about the tours and waiting lists. Sorry, but I forgot. There's still 50, 60 people on the call. Many of you are booked on our tours or on our waiting list. Our tours are totally sold out. You know that. We had to cancel July. They all moved into other dates on the tour. For those of you in the waiting list, you might be waiting until January, February, where we have decided as a team to put extra tours on.
Yeah.
So we're going to get you here in the next 6 months. It just might not be October, November, because we can put, for every tour we have of 10 people, we have 20 people on a waiting list right now. So, so those of you who want to come on one of our tours, start booking, like start in March, like start like March and this April, May, get those booked or they're going to be gone.
Yeah.
Because all our waiting list people are going to take them. But we're going to put extra tours on. We're going to do 2 a month as soon as we get open here, just so we can fill you all in.
And just to our apologies, because our policy, they came. We love to do personal, so we never wanted to go over 10 people because we want to do the best of ourselves for you guys. So we're not trying to fill up a big bus.
Yeah, we're not
trying to make sure
bus and doing 30 people.
We cannot do it. It's just not correct.
That's not
to
us.
our guests and future friends. We always look for it. So we do everything our best, and we really appreciate your support and also your time, your precious time to be on this call.
Okay, we're getting warnings that we're going to be losing the call.
Okay.
Why don't you guys, if we didn't answer your question, info@retireinpanamatours.com. Get your questions. I get those emails. I'm going to forward it to whoever can answer it, and we're going to get your questions answered. Does anyone have a voice question that?
Yeah, I got one. This is Michelle. How about do you put your tour schedule?
I'm sorry?
I know you're like for 2022.
2021's out. 2022 is going to come up pretty soon.
Okay.
I would say it will be out by August, because you're not the first one to ask, Michelle. So
we're going to Ireland next year. Panama.
Yeah.
Great.
Bye, folks. Good seeing you
Bye.
guys again.
Hasta la vista.
Guys,
Tito,
Carl, John, good to see you.
Tito, I'm waiting for you, Tito.
Hoy, vengo, voy a venir. Enero.
Go here.
I don't know what he's saying.
Hey, Paul, great to meet you. Kim,
Paul, and that's Megan and Oscar, and we're going to be buddies.
Carl,
Michelle, come visit us
Michelle,
sometime. Love to see you.
everybody. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Rod. Thanks, Megan. Thanks, Oscar.
All righty, guys. Talk
Good night.
soon. Bye.